This is the Toyota Corolla hatchback, and it's a pretty solid economy car. It's meant to be affordable, good on gas, practical, and since it's a Toyota, it's meant to be reliable. However, the Corolla hatchback that I'm driving here is a little different. It isn't affordable since it costs over $40,000 as tested here, and that's before the dealer tries to completely rob you. This one also gets 24 miles per gallon combined, making it the worst fuel economy from any Corolla on sale right now. It's got a 3-cylinder engine, a 6-speed manual transmission, and a 3-pipe exhaust system that sounds like this. My name is Omar, and this is the 2023 Toyota GR Corolla. Alright, so I've already tested the GR Corolla at the first drive event where we were mostly on a track in Salt Lake City, Utah, but I wanted to get it back and spend some time with it to see how it is to live with on a daily basis on everyday roads. But first, let's quickly talk about what we're working with here. You've got a 1.6-liter 3-cylinder turbocharged engine from the GR Yaris. And while in the GR Yaris this engine makes 268 horsepower, in the GR Corolla it makes 300 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. You get a total of 4 drive modes including Eco, Normal, Sport, and Custom. Now all GR Corollas also come standard with a GR4 all-wheel drive system, and you can adjust the torque distribution between 3 settings by turning this dial right here. Okay, so if you drive this around in normal mode, it feels like you're driving a regular Corolla. It isn't loud or rough. The ride is a little stiffer, and that's understandable, but to be completely honest, I thought this would have been unbearably rough on everyday roads, but it isn't, not even the slightest bit. If you never popped this into sport mode or drove it aggressively, you really wouldn't be able to tell the difference between this and a regular Corolla hatch. The steering feel in normal mode is as light and plain as a Corolla gets, and it's just very simple to drive. Now, let's take it down to Eco mode. No, I'm kidding. Don't ever put this in Eco mode. You didn't spend 20 to 30 grand above MSRP to drive this around in Eco mode. Even if you're stuck in traffic, I never want to hear about anybody driving this around in Eco mode. Eco mode to me stands for enormously coward operator. Besides the normal mode, you should only shift into sport or custom mode, which for me is maxed out. And when you do that, this thing starts to liven up a bit. The gauge cluster does a thing and switches into something cooler. The exhaust gets a little deeper, and it becomes what it's meant to be, a sports car. And this is where your hard-earned money comes into good use. This is fun. This is good, like really good. You just want to toss this thing around all day and push it as much as you can. Now, I should mention that to get the most out of this 3-cylinder engine, you want to keep this higher in the rev range to really unlock that power. And yeah, it's really fun living up here. This is where you really get to feel what the Gazoo Racing team actually did to this car. If you're keeping this below 2,500 or 3,000 RPM, you're not really unlocking the full potential of this car and really enjoying it. To that end, it's still not lightning quick, and none of these pocket rockets are meant to be. This will do 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds, and that's okay because this is meant to handle really well and put a smile on your face. And it definitely does that. This steering feel is so nice and tight, and you could just toss this thing around in corners all day and have your stuff fly around while you're doing that. Now, I really don't know how many GR Corolla buyers will actually take this to the track, but they definitely should to really feel what this thing is capable of, because it is very capable and very fun. It's almost hard to believe that this is the same Corolla that I was just driving around in normal mode. It really has a split personality. Now again, all GR Corollas come standard with the really fancy all-wheel drive system called GR4 that allows you to adjust the torque distribution to your liking. If you keep it in 60/40, the system will send 60% of the torque to the front wheels, and that's optimal for everyday driving on everyday roads. Pop it in 30/70 and 70% of the torque goes to the back wheels, and this is where you want to live if you end up on some windy roads like I was just on right now. Pop it into track and you get the maximum stability with 50/50 torque distribution, and this is where it gets really grippy. Now on everyday roads that are mostly straight, you won't really feel the difference. I've personally been keeping this in sport mode and having the GR4 torque distribution in track mode, so it's 50/50, and that's where I've been living and that's where I've been happy. That said, you would think that this thing likes to oversteer, but the grip on this thing is so good and it doesn't have an insane amount of torque, so it's pretty tough to make it slide. In my experience, this thing is more of a serious performer than a drift king. Nonetheless, the feedback from the steering and the overall experience of pushing this is really, really good. That said, if you do like sliding around on everyday roads, let me know where you live because I would love to join, because I know my luck. The moment I start really pushing this thing and having fun and totally forget where I am, a cop will show up and I'll get pulled over. But if you do like drifting, you have the Volkswagen Golf R, you have the Honda Civic Type R, or even the GR Supra or the GR86. Those things will let you slide sideways all day. Now, one thing I do want to point out, if you go for the GR Corolla Core like the one I'm driving here, you don't get the front and rear limited slip diff as standard. The Morizo and the Circuit do, but the Core you have to add on the performance package for an extra $1,180 to get it. Now, during the first drive event for this, I spent most of my time driving around the Morizo edition, the one with no rear seats, no rear wiper, and slightly more torque. And I gotta say, that felt just a little bit sharper, not by much, but it definitely felt a little more extra. But yeah, no matter what, this thing is a fun little sports car that will definitely leave you smiling. The transmission is great, and you have rev matching if you really want to focus on pushing this thing and less on downshifting and heel and towing. And the handling is superb, and the brakes are also really, really solid. And even when a bend comes up and you have this in 30/70, it still holds on really, really tight. I don't think many people will be messing around with this dial unless they hit up a track or find some twisty back roads. Nonetheless, the feedback from the steering and the overall experience of really pushing this thing around is really solid. It is a great, fun little sports car. Now let's slow it down a little bit and talk about the exterior design, because this hasn't turned as many heads as I would have thought. If you just look at this Core model, it's hard to tell that you're driving a tougher Corolla. Besides the GR badges, the wheels, and the arches, and the 3-pipe exhaust system, it's pretty inconspicuous. The Morizo and the Circuit look a little tougher with their spoilers and their carbon fiber roof, but the Core here looks like a Corolla hatchback with an aftermarket body kit. Personally, my favorite angle of this is the back where you have the 3-pipe exhaust. It just looks super beefy. Now, something interesting about what's going on here. First of all, you don't have any fake engine noise coming into the cabin, and the center pipe remains open when you're just chilling and when you're driving up to 20 miles an hour. Now, once you pass 20, it closes and then reopens once you hit 4,500 RPM, and it sounds really, really good. Like really good. But yeah, at a standstill, it sounds okay. I'm kind of disappointed there aren't any snap, crackles, and pops. In my opinion, the Hyundai Elantra N has the best exhaust in this segment. It's very childish, and I absolutely love it. As for the wheel game, all GR Corollas come standard with 18-inch wheels that look super dope. The Core model that I'm driving here is wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tires. Moving to the front, all trims look pretty sharp with a dark matrix grille and giant functional air intakes. And then all the lighting game is LED everything. You get LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights, and you get sleek LED taillights. Now inside, it's even simpler. It's a pretty simple, basic Corolla, unless you go for the Morizo edition where it's missing the rear seats and everything, but in here, it's pretty simple. The Core model that I'm driving here comes standard with fabric seats, and they are definitely comfortable and pretty well bolstered. I don't think you should have a really big problem taking a long trip besides for the stiffer suspension. Of course, you get a little nice GR logo on the headrest, just in case you forgot what you were driving. Now, if you want suede seats, you're gonna have to go for the Circuit edition, and if you want suede with a little bit of a mixture of leather, you're gonna have to go for the Morizo. But yeah, all the seats in here are manually adjustable, just to remind you that you're still driving one of the cheapest Toyota models out there. That said, unlike the Civic Type R, which gets no heating gain, the GR Corolla does. On the Core, you can get a heated steering wheel and heated front seats as a part of the cold weather package for an extra $500. Both of those are standard on the Circuit. I'm not sure why Honda refuses to give our sportier Civics no creature comforts. Well, I guess I know why. They're just saving that for the Integra Type S. As for the climate control, you get a single zone climate control, no dual zones in here, which, yeah, I guess it makes sense because this car is nice and tiny. But yeah, besides the red stitching and the GR logos on the steering, the shifter, and the seats, this pretty much is a standard Corolla. In terms of tech, all trims come standard with an 8-inch touchscreen display with Toyota's new infotainment system. You get wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. Navigation, of course, is part of a subscription service, so don't bother getting it. Just use Google Maps and call it a day. And then all GR Corolla trims come standard with this beautiful 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster display that's highly customizable to whatever info you want there. It's got a really cool startup animation, check that out. And then if you switch from normal into sport mode, you have a sportier layout, which I like much more than the regular layout. Other than that, the core model that I'm driving here also has the tech package for an extra $770, and that gives you a wireless charger and a pretty solid 8-speaker JBL sound system. That said, let's quickly pull over and check out the practicality of the GR Corolla, because if you're gonna get one, you obviously want it to be a little practical. All right, let's check out how practical the GR Corolla is as your daily car by checking out the second row. Hop in here and you're working with just under 30 inches of legroom. And yeah, it's pretty tight back here. I don't think many people will be bringing along their friends and family for a ride in their GR Corolla unless they're just in a tight situation. And I can't talk because my mouth is frozen and it's really cold outside. But yeah, the back seat is not that exciting. You don't have any vents or heated seats or anything back here. All right, let's check out the cargo space. You can pop open the trunk by using a button located right here under the Toyota logo. And once you get it open, you have 17.8 cubic feet. And then you have 60-40 split rear seats if you want to open it up to much more. I hate these covers, I always take them off, but yeah, those are the 60-40 split rear seats. Now, if you want more cargo space, you can go for the Morizo, which has no rear seats, and that will give you 36.6 cubic feet. So with the rear seats down, I'm guessing it's gonna be 36.6 cubic feet of space. All right, so before I give you my final thoughts on the GR Corolla, let me put in some important daily ownership highlights that I love to show all of you. You have a total of 4 cup holders, 2 in the front, and then you have 2 in the back and the center armrest. Door close sound from the outside, and from the inside, pretty solid. It's really windy outside because it's winter, so I'm gonna sit inside and show you the keys. These are the keys, pretty simple. You have a GR logo right here on the back, nice. Charging game-wise, again, the wireless charger is extra. It's right there, and you have a USB-C port right over there. And anyone who dares to sit in the back gets a USB-C port and a DC charger. And of course, let's do an indicator and horn sound test. Indicator first. Pretty simple. Now for the horn sound. Yeah, pretty Corolla-ish. Now, one of the other reasons that GR Corolla is a pretty solid daily driver is the amount of standard driver assist tech that you have in here. As a part of Toyota's Safety Sense 3.0, you get everything and anything you can imagine, including adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist with steering assist, and lane tracing assist, meaning this will keep itself centered in the lanes. You get all the collision detection and cross traffic alerts. And then camera game-wise, all you have is a rear view camera. I would have loved to see a 360 surround view camera at this price tag, but I guess I get it, this is a Corolla. Speaking of the price, let's talk about it. Now, I get that dealerships will be marking this thing up like crazy because they're only making a limited amount for 2023. I get it. But before any of that dealership craziness, the base Corolla model that I'm driving here starts at $35,900, but as equipped here, this is essentially fully loaded. You're looking at right over $40,000. The Circuit, which will only be on sale for the first model year, starts at $42,900, while the Morizo, which is also a limited production run, starts at right under $50,000. Again, this is one of the most anticipated cars of the year, so expect to pay more. That's just the reality of it. I'm pretty sure Toyota will do another run at the GR Corolla when the next generation Corolla comes out, because this thing is just so damn popular. You know, I've always had a ton of respect for Toyota as a brand. They are reliable, affordable, and have longevity. But somewhere in the middle, they just started getting really, really boring. After the Prius, it was just one hybrid after another. Nothing really stood out. And then they came out with a GR86 in partnership with Subaru, and then of course the Supra in partnership with BMW. This here though is the second GR branded car that's fully developed by Toyota. Both the GR Corolla and the GR Yaris aren't cookie cutter assembly line produced vehicles. Each is built at their own station with a more manual assembly style, with a touch of love from the Gazoo racing team. Yeah, this is all Toyota through and through, and that's why I love it. It shows that Toyota still likes to have some fun, and I hope they keep the GR brand growing. either way. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. My handle is @OmarDrives. I'll catch you guys at the next one. Take care. Peace. And if you get this, keep it above 4,000 RPM if you want to have fun. I mean, hey, we finally have a fun Corolla that you can take to the track at a time where EVs are becoming more and more popular. Thank God. By the way, I still haven't driven the new Honda Civic Type R. I couldn't go to the first drive event, and Honda can't seem to get one up here because it is now really cold in the Northeast. But I guess one day I will drive the Type R when no one really cares about it anymore. But you guys should care about me. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you all. 4,500 RPMs. Let's go. School zone. Hit the brakes. See, I told you. Every time I decide to let loose, a cop or a school zone shows up. It's just my luck.